Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage episode 4 focused on Mandy's relationship, demonstrating how unimportant it had become after being a significant issue in young Sheldon. Mandy went out with her coworker Beth because she felt a little let down by her lack of a social life after spending all of their evenings with the McAllisters. The topic of their age difference was humorously brought up again when Beth's son, Todd, was only a year behind Georgie at Medford High. But concentrating on their age difference actually led to another unexpected finding. Following their mutual concealment of the truth, Georgie and Mandy began dating in young Sheldon's season 5. Hey everyone, hope you're having a good day. Before going to the main topic, I want to say like this video and subscribe to the channel. In fact, Georgie voluntarily gave Mandy the impression that he was older by flinching when he spoke, and Mandy had done the same, only to confess to lying about her age once they had begun dating. The situation worsened, though, as Mandy was already expecting CC when Georgie came clean about his underage status. This effectively ended their romance for more than a season after their initial courting was founded on false information. By bringing Georgie to Beth's, Mandy allowed them to spend time with someone who was closer in age and to act like a couple, which resulted in the endearing story of how they first met. Everything was awkward, though, because Todd knew Georgie from high school after Mandy had met his mother at work. This was especially true once the conversation revealed that Todd and Georgie had similar interests. The evening at Beth's was an ideal opportunity to show how problematic Georgie and Mandy's age difference may be for them, but it had the opposite effect. Spending time with Todd and his friends was actually a hassle for Georgie, if his desire to do so sparked their argument in Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage Season 1, Episode 4, as Georgie's response to Mandy's resistance mirrored one he could have used against his mother. Even though Todd, Richie, and Jason were closer in age, they showed a lack of judgment Georgie couldn't understand, especially because it could have put them in grave danger. Even though Georgie and Todd shared similar interests, their approaches were completely different, which made Georgie's viewpoint more in line with Mandy's. While Audrey's attempts to highlight Georgie's positive traits demonstrated that she and Georgie had reached a truce in first marriage, she also made the reasonable argument that Mandy should have anticipated that her and Georgie's methods might have diverged due to their different ages. But in young Sheldon, Georgie and Mandy never had that issue. Mandy and Georgie frequently disagreed during her pregnancy with CC, but it was the falsehoods that led them there rather than their age difference, which revealed how unfit they were. The age difference between Georgie and Mandy never really affected their issues, and in young Sheldon, Mandy was falsely accused of having more weight for her refusal to wed Georgie. Georgie's actions throughout Mandy's pregnancy went against what Mandy thought of him because she helped her and was smarter than she thought, which essentially rendered their age difference meaningless because their actions didn't correspond with their ages. This was also seen in Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage, when they aligned their expectations and ideals without taking age into account because they valued their shared existence and relied on their relationship. The episode Todd's Mom from Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage has spoilers in this article. Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage has already introduced significant Big Bang Theory story flaws in just a few episodes of its debut season. As seen by the serious error involving George Sr.'s gravestone, the spin-off series, which follows the titular couple's early years as parents, has also been guilty of ignoring the little things. With young Sheldon, the sitcom does, however, maintain some serious continuity, particularly by addressing Georgie's, Montana Jordan, criminal past in Episode 4, Todd's Mom. The fourth episode begins with a joyful family playing bridge: Audrey, Rachel Bay Jones, Jim, Will Sasso, Mandy, Emily Osment, and Georgie. Audrey is dubious of Georgie since he keeps winning and denies having any gambling expertise, even though he claims to be a novice. Since Georgie and Meemaw, Annie Potts, ran a gambling ring in the back of a laundry, young Sheldon fans are aware that this is absurd. Georgie's passion for bridge implies that he still has a taste for his former ways, and the moment in question offers a subtly nostalgic allusion to his past. In addition, his barefaced lies to his in-laws are a continuation of a Cooper family tradition that was started on young Sheldon. TV sitcom's Episode 4 of Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage makes reference to Georgie's illegal history Cubs by a Kieran Fisher Est, November 8, 2024, 1:06 p.m. The episode Todd's Mom from Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage has spoilers in this article. Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage has already introduced significant Big Bang Theory story flaws in just a few episodes of its debut season. As seen by the serious error involving George Sr.'s gravestone, the spin-off series, which follows the titular couple's early years as parents, has also been guilty of ignoring the little things. With Young Sheldon, the sitcom does, however, maintain some serious continuity, particularly by addressing Georgie's Montana Jordan criminal past in episode 4, Todd's Mom. The fourth episode begins with a joyful family playing bridge: Audrey, Rachel Bay Jones, Jim, Will Sasso, Mandy, Emily Osment, and Georgie. Audrey is dubious of Georgie since he keeps winning and denies having any gambling expertise, even though he claims to be a novice. Since Georgie and Meemaw, Annie Potts, ran a gambling ring in the back of a laundry, young Sheldon fans are aware that this is absurd. Georgie's passion for bridge implies that he still has a taste for his former ways, and the moment in question offers a subtly nostalgic allusion to his past. In addition, his barefaced lies to his in-laws are a continuation of a Cooper family tradition that was started on Young Sheldon. Promotion: The First Marriage of Georgie and Mandy carries on a dishonest Cooper family custom. According to Todd's Mom on CBS, Georgie Cooper has a familial history of dishonesty and is skilled at bluffing and lying in card games. Meemaw would be proud of Georgie because that's the kind of wisdom she passes on to her grandkids, even though Mary Cooper, Zoe Perry, would object to the idea of her kids gambling and working. In the Young Sheldon episode Poker, Faith, and Eggs, Meemaw teaches Ian Armitage, the son of the title character, how to deceive gamblers. In a scenario that demonstrates that this young prodigy isn't all-knowing, she advises him to suppress his feelings so that his potential opponents won't be aware of his strong card game. It's dubious grandparenting to educate a youngster to lie and gamble, but someone had to get him ready for life in the real world, which is full with scoundrels, cheaters, and liars. Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage, Episode 4, makes clear that Georgie and Meemaw are more alike than Sheldon. However, given that Georgie and Mandy's first marriage hinted at the couple's dissolution owing to financial strain, it's possible that his passion of gambling would eventually cause his relationship to fail. The young couple deserves some happiness first, so perhaps that will happen later. Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage Episode 4 has once again highlighted the age gap between the pair, despite young Sheldon's spin-off diligently adhering to the everyday grind of marriage. The two have so far found it difficult to strike a balance between living with Audrey and Jim and getting their feet under their feet. Although we don't know how long that will last, Audrey is now much more understanding of her son-in-law, and Jim is helping out at the tire store. All of this indicates a slowdown in the drama, correct? False. Episode 4 is when things start to pick up steam, if we consider Episode 3 to be the last, setting the scene episode. The couple's long-standing problems are immediately brought to light by the introduction of two new characters. However, there is a lesson here as well. Sometimes you have an instinct about what's best for you personally. This is precisely how the fourth episode of Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage comes to that end. There will be spoilers, of course. Episode 4 of Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage begins with the banality of their new existence. It's hinted that the quartet plays bridge frequently as they sit down to play in pairs with Audrey and Jim, while Georgie pretends to be a novice in order to conceal his abilities, which, because to Meemaw's influence, is undoubtedly untrue. Mandy is truly awful regardless of how hard she tries. Mandy finds herself missing her former life after the game is over. While Georgie obviously appreciating the small things, she feels like an OAP. She chats with coworker Beth while working a shift at the restaurant, and when they're done, she accepts their invitation to go out for drinks. Leaving Georgie at home, Mandy is reluctant to join, but she does and has a great time. When she returns, Georgie is happy that she had a good time and tells her about Cece's activities that she missed. Mandy claims that she was invited out once more a few days later in an attempt to avoid playing bridge with someone else. Mandy agrees to accompany Georgie when he says he wanted to hang out with her. Todd, Beth's teenage son, is introduced to us at this time in the new television series. It is implied that Georgie lied about his age to attract Mandy's attention during their explanation of how they met before he shows up. Remember young Sheldon season 5? When Todd admits that Georgie was only a year older than him at school, everything comes to a head. When Todd leaves to show Georgie his dirt bike, Beth finds it difficult to contain her amazement. When Mandy is by herself, she feels compelled to defend herself and her life, but Georgie doesn't seem to understand her feelings at all. As the two discuss the evening, things take a different turn on the way home. Georgie reports that he has had a great time and that Todd has invited him to go dirt biking that weekend. Mandy isn't very interested in going, but he wants to. Given their age difference, Georgie is still 19 at this time. It's unsettling to observe the idea that Mandy is feeling more like his mother than his wife. In the meantime, Connor suggests that Audrey and Jim play 20 questions as a way to pass the time. Audrey is open to it, but Jim wastes a lot of time asking how the game works and soon gets hooked. As Georgie enjoys his time dirt biking at the end of Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage episode 4, things take a turn for the worst when Todd and his friends start drinking beer before going out again. Georgie goes into dad mode and warns them that it's unsafe or that they should at least eat before drinking. Georgie responds, "I drive a tow truck and seen a lot of stuff," to Todd's claim that he's no fun. Believe me, being safe is awesome. Mandy and Beth had gone out once more, but Beth immediately leaves them to make up with Mandy's dentist, who just so happens to be seated at the bar. All of Todd's buddies have been dropped off at Georgie's house, and after, presumably, understanding he was correct, they start speaking to him as a senior authority. Feeling depressed, Mandy moves to leave Beth at the bar. When she phones Georgie, who arrives to fetch her right away, she asks if she wants to go somewhere else. The two depart with the contented knowledge that they may actually know what's best for their own relationship after Mandy responds that all she wants to do is return home and watch her daughter sleep. CBS broadcasts Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage every week. Before watching the most recent episodes, catch up with our summaries of episodes 1 and 2. Let us know in your comments. And stay tuned by subscribing our channel to get more updates like this. Thanks everyone.